Hello everyone, welcome to Word Eating. Today's lesson is about 4 prefixes. 2 are very similar and 2 are almost the opposite. We will be studying pre, for, post, and after. Pre means earlier, before, in advance, or in front of. What do I mean by that? The word preschool. And as you see, I've started my word eater cards. So that's the first thing you'll do, right? So preschool is really, pre means before. It's before school. It's little school. It's before you get to elementary school or kindergarten. Pre, before school. For also means before, earlier, in front of, and in front. One example, forearm. Forearm is the part of your arm here. It's in between the hand and the elbow, but it's the first part of your arm. It means the first part. Forearm, in front. Post. Post means later or behind. Post. Let's choose a nice post word. Post. This is a juicy word. Postmortem. Post. After death. After. The Egyptians and postmortem, if you're interested, are very interesting. Postmortem. A word that a lot of people do not know really what it means. Postscript. We write a letter in olden times. We wrote a long letter. We didn't have cell phones or email. And we wrote a letter. And at the very end, we signed our name and then thought, I forgot to say something. So I am just going to write P.S. P.S. Oh, I miss you. I miss you. P.S. The word actually is postscript, and many people don't know that. Post, after, later, or behind. You're doing something behind. After, later or behind in order. After. Afterthought. I went out and I thought it was going to rain, but I didn't bring an umbrella until later. I thought, maybe I should have. It's an afterthought. And Egyptians again, afterlife. Why do we mummify people in Egypt? Afterlife. What happens after life? Some of the words in this sort, I realize, aren't quite as exciting as maybe previous sorts. And I will give you the option. If there are certain words that you do not like or are not your style, you may substitute a word in the dictionary that you find with the same prefix, one for one. Pre, for, post, and after. I included in my list, or my word eater cards, postmortem. I thought it was more exciting than what was on the list. I also included aftershock. What's an aftershock? It's something that happens after an earthquake, the smaller shocks, after the big shock, after. I included precaution. What happens if you do not think in advance before and you don't bring that umbrella as a precaution? One of my favorite words, you may include this one, prejudice. You judge, but pre means you're judging before. You're judging before you're thinking, before you know all the facts. You're prejudging. Prejudice. That's actually what prejudice means. Fun word. Foreshadow. Foreshadow. Authors often write books and they give you a hint They're hinting that something might happen. In Bunnicula, we're reading Bunnicula and Pine. And there's always a hint about what's going to happen next. And in a lot of mysteries, authors might use foreshadowing to keep your attention. They are asking you to look. A gypsy has a crystal ball, and she's reading your fortune. What does she see? She foresees in advance. She's seeing, and she's telling you what's going to happen. And then she may forewarn you. She's going to warn you in advance about what she sees. And then maybe you'll heed what she says, and you will use precaution. You'll understand. So these words usually are the opposite, 2 for 2. Pre and fore mean before, but post and after are the opposite, meaning after and behind. You have your packet. I've changed it a little this time. You don't need to do all the word eater cards in 2 days. You'll do 5 one day, 5 the next. I've spread it out. On Friday, you will have free choice in your writing, but it will be writing using your words. Story, comic strip, whatever you want. And that's all week 1. I've made the chart easier so that you know what stays home. I noticed a lot of students pass things in that they should have kept at home. I saw a lot of these come back. This stays home. You need this for your word eater cards. You will need to know that precaution is a noun, and you will need to know that the symbol is here. On the second week, you will do the sort page just like before. This is a sort page. This is what it looks like. If there are words that aren't exciting, I thought, post-test, post-date, you might like those words. If you do not, choose a different word in your dictionary and make a word eater card. Aftershock was not on the list. You might think it's a cool word. You might think afterlife is. Or postscript. Choose one. Make it fun. So you will do your sort just like the last time. Cut up your words and you will match. I don't need to really show you. All you're going to do is match. Here's your match. Pre, fore, post, and after. Pre-season baseball. What's the opposite of that? After the season, postseason in the playoffs. Here's a foreword. Foresight. You think in advance. You see in advance and you do something. As opposed to afterthought. You should have done that in advance, right? You should have had the foresight. Okay, so I will read a book, a page, a short story from Science Verse. Science Verse by John Jazak, illustrated by Leek Smith. We have started zoology in lower elementary, everybody, and the name of this little poem is Skeletal Study. And we all know, or we will get to know, that we are all vertebrates. Humans are vertebrates. And this poem you could rewrite as part of your Friday, the first Friday or the second Friday, writing assignment, using any words. Or you could comment on it or make a poem or a story yourself using some words I see. Skeletal study. There was once a man of science, not one of your mental giants. Didn't think. He decided to settle the question, does metal fix an electric appliance? What? What did he do? And somebody is over on the side going, should he have done that? He was running, maybe to forewarn. Maybe this little scientist did not take any precautions. It's a different kind of aftershock. But maybe as an afterthought, he would have thought differently. You can use any words to write something. Anything that interests you using any 5 words. I have something different. If writing is very difficult, and I know for some it is very difficult. It's hard to be creative sometimes. So, read a book. Read a book and see if it helps. And then, maybe, create a piece of artwork if that's easier. Easier way for you to express and use words. This is Dawn by Yuri Chavez. It's short. Quiet. Still. This is a lake in the mountains, and it seems to be dark. It's cold and damp. Under a tree by the lake, an old man and his son sleep in their blankets. The moon lights a rock, a branch, and an occasional leaf, and so we see the moonlight. The mountain stands guard, dark and silent. Nothing moves. Now a light breeze. The lake shivers. It means there's motion on the water. It ripples. Slowly, lazily, vapors start to rise, and we wonder why vapor rises. Maybe it's warming. And there's a glow. A lonely bat circles in silence. A frog jumps, and then another. Things are stirring. I wonder why. A bird calls, another answers. When do birds wake up? And we see it's not as dark. The old man wakes his grandson. Colors are changing. They draw water from the lake and light a small fire. Looks like they're going to make breakfast. They roll up their blankets and push their old boat into the water. Along they move in the middle of the lake. The oars creak and rattle, churning pools of foam. Suddenly, the colors are changing. The mountain and the lake are green. And so we wonder what happened, and you could write about something like this. And this would demonstrate time, before and after. What happens? Foreshadowing. What happens? This is what happened. We see darkness. People are sleeping. And then all of a sudden, the darkness starts to fall back. It goes away. And then, in the pre-dawn hours, pre-dawn, In the pre-dawn hours, it's still a little black, a little dark. And then in the book, light starts to creep in. Why? Because it's becoming dawn. Pre-dawn is when the sun is not up. That's pre-dawn. But as the sun comes, we have color, and it's dawn, before dawn. And then it becomes morning. And you take off in your boat. Later, when the sun is really high, it becomes noon. Noon. And here's our sun. But then, as the sun moves, it becomes afternoon. When is it? It's afternoon time. It's after. Afternoon. Here's the sun. And then it's sunset time. This becomes evening. It's sunset. And all the colors change again. Sunset. And there's a time after sunset that I learned that will be the Friday riddle. And there is a word that I will not say. But the time after sunset, there is still light that reflects off the blue sky and off the clouds. And there is a word for it, and it starts with after. And so if you can think about that word, that's your riddle, even though next Friday I will give you the word, and then you can write something about the word, and that will be your Friday riddle. After. So, we have learned about 4 prefixes today, and they are the opposite. Pre and fore mean before, but post and after are the opposite, meaning after and behind. Enjoy. If there are any questions with the lesson, or if there are any questions with your packet, I know some of you turned your packet in and you didn't mean to. I can always email you a packet so that you know what you're doing. Some of you didn't have the Friday cartoon. It wasn't posted to your Google Classroom. If you don't, I can email it to you, and I will do that if you email me back. I'm the only Wendy at Golden Oak, the only Wendy on Google Hangouts at Golden Oak. Just let me know, and I'd be happy to help you. Have fun. And for the writing, this is not really about spelling. Remember, this is about having fun with words, using words so you will be able to write and speak and enjoy words. Always remember, we're keeping up with our word eater boxes. Later, in a couple weeks, you will use all of the words. So keep up making all of your word eater cards. Please do not fall behind. For spelling, I made it easier this time. What you'll do is you'll take all your word eater cards, drop them in a little bin, mix them up. Pull 10, not 20. 10. And that's your spelling test. Everything you need should be in your packet. Everything. You will have your sort page. There is blank paper for sort. There is paper for your spelling test and your writing. Name and date, please. Write legibly, best handwriting. And have fun. If you'd like suggestions on substituting words, I'll be happy to help you with that. Otherwise, dictionary. Again, if you do not have a dictionary, please ask your teacher. Email your teacher you do not have a dictionary. If you don't hear from them, please email me and I will get you a dictionary. I would like to. Enjoy. Have fun word eating.